Hello guys, today we're gonna do section C. You're gonna start with the front of the trailer or trailer header, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, or legal wells, in good working conditions. Side of the trailer, it's properly mounted, no cracks, bends, or legal wells on it. Top lights, they're properly mounted, they're not cracked, they're not broken, in good working conditions, not missing any bolts or screws. Right here we have the DOT reflectors, properly mounted, in good working conditions. Continue with the section C. We're gonna go under the trailer. Right here we have the trailer bridges. They're properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and legal wells, not missing bolts or screws, in good working conditions. Right here we have the trailer floor, properly mounted, it's not cracked, not broken. Check daily for any holes, because if it's not, they're gonna put you out of service. This is our landing gear release arm, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, or legal wells. High, low speed. This is the landing gear support or boots, properly mounted, no cracks, no bends, and legal wells, in good working conditions. Continue with the section B. We're gonna go on the third axle. Right here we have the suspension. We got the hangers, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and legal wells, not missing bolts or screws, in good working conditions. Right here we have the lift springs. They're properly mounted, no cracks, no bends, and legal wells, in good working conditions, not missing bolts or screws. Inside there, you're gonna point to tell them you have the U-bolts and shackles. They're properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and legal wells, not missing bolts or screws, in good working conditions. And then right here you have a torque rod suspension, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and legal wells, not missing bolts or screws, in good working condition. Once again, right here you have a dual brake chamber, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and legal wells, air lines coming in and out, not leaking any air. Behind it you have another push rod and slack adjuster, which is properly mounted, no cracks, no bends, and legal wells, allow no more than 2 inches of play. Once again, you're gonna point right there in the middle. Inside there we have the brake drums, properly mounted, no cracks, no bends, illegal wells, no grease or oil. You have to have at least 1/2 inch of life. And then you're gonna point inside there again. You have the brake pads, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, illegal wells, no grease, oil, crystallization. You have to have at least 1/4 inch of life. And right here we have a hub seal, which carries oil, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, illegal wells, not leaking any oil. These are my lug nuts, they're all present, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and legal wells. Check for shiny trash, because it's indication of looseness. This is my rim, properly mounted, no cracks, no bends, and legal wells, in working conditions. That's my air stem right there, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and legal wells, not leaking any air. And then we go to our tires again. Dual tires, 4 inches spacing between them two. Check daily for trash, debris, the rocks. ICD again. The tire is inflated to the manufacturer specification. It's written around the tire. The conditions, no cuts or cracks longer than an inch, no bald spots, wire, nails, or screws sticking out. Minimum depth tread, 232s, same size. You don't have to have originals. You can use retread or recap tires in the back. Right here, this is a mud flap, 8 inches from the ground, not touching the tire, in good working conditions. Continue with the section C. We have the top lights. They're properly mounted, they're not cracked, they're not broken, not missing bolts or screws, in good working conditions. This is a trailer door, properly mounted, doesn't have any holes, cracks, it's in good working conditions. This is my trailer door lock, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and wells. Make sure you always have it in the lock position, because if not, you're gonna lose your cargo. Right here we have another DOT reflectors, they're properly mounted, in good working conditions. We have our lights, they're not cracked, they're not broken, in good working conditions, not missing bolts or screws. Right here we have our DOT bumper, which is properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and wells, not missing bolts or screws, in good working conditions. And then right here we have our pinto hook, properly mounted, no cracks, bends, and wells, not missing bolts and screws, and in good working conditions. This concludes section C.